this video segment, we will show you how to apply the resin to the tabletop. View Part 1 for initial table setup. For our first layer, we will mix up 1/2 gallon. The hardener is measured by the drops per ounce. We will use 5 drops per ounce. Since there are 64 ounces, we will use 320 drops. It may seem tedious to do it this way, but over-catalyzing can result in a ruined project, and under-catalyzing can result in an incomplete cure. So counting drops is safest. You will notice that the resin starts out clear. As the catalyst is added, the resin turns a slight yellow color. This shows that the chemistry has begun. The yellow will disappear during the curing process, leaving the resin crystal clear. Once the resin is thoroughly mixed, pour it gently over your embedments, being careful not to disturb them. Once poured, the embedments can be moved if desired. While it is important to do this in a well-ventilated area, it is also important that the area not be cold, such as an unheated garage in winter. The table should be kept at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit during the cure process for good results. We are doing this outside on a cool day. So to protect the surface and keep the tabletop warm, we will place a box that we have painted black over the top. The sun will warm the box and thus the resin. The box will also prevent dust and debris from collecting on the surface. Allow the resin to gel but not fully cure. It is at this gelled stage so that the next layer can be poured. You can test for gel with a stir stick. You will also see the resin turn wavy on the surface, indicating the curing process is progressing. Pour the next layer during this gelled stage. Our resin took about 1 hour to gel. By the way, if you look closely, you can see where I missed some spots of newspaper with the ultra seal. They turn darker. Notice also areas of wood that turn dark without the ultra seal. Mix the resin and hardener for the next layer as before, except use a little less hardener, since the first layer will generate heat, which will accelerate the next layer. We will use 3 drops per ounce for this layer. Pour the second layer to the desired height and allow it to gel. Again, we waited about 1 hour. Pour a third layer using 2 to 3 drops per ounce. Once the resin is hardened, it is tempting to touch it to see if it is cured. Do not use your finger, or you could leave a permanent fingerprint. Instead, use a stir stick in the very corner to determine if it's fully cured. The other characteristic of resin is that it does not cure to a perfectly level surface. That is why we are pouring very thin layers to minimize the shrinkage and the ripple effect. Achieving a tack-free final surface can be challenging. There are 3 methods. One is to keep the piece in a very warm area. I used my car parked in the sun. However, this fills the car with polyester odor and runs the risk of getting resin on the upholstery. The black cardboard box in the sun would also work. Either way, it may take several days to achieve a fully cured surface. By keeping the table in a warm area, the last layer has cured, and it has a wavy finish characteristic of all polyester casting resins. This wavy surface is attractive just like it is. For this video, however, we will use the Mylar method to create a glass smooth surface. We will mix up a 4th batch of resin and catalyst and pour it on. The resin does not self-level, so you may have to move it around. Wait a few minutes for any bubbles to surface and pop. Then, Lay a piece of 5 mil or thicker mylar on the wet resin, being careful not to trap any bubbles. This can be challenging. We then wait for the resin to cure. When cured, the mylar is easily removed, leaving a glass-smooth surface. Another method we could have used, if we were content with a wavy surface, would have been to apply Resin Craft spray. This coats the surface with a clear lacquer which seals it, allowing it to fully cure. Our tabletop is cured. Now we can remove the polyethylene strips to see the sides. A round-over router bit can be used on the edge to give it a smooth finish, which could be buffed to a gloss. For the wood edges, decide how you want to finish them, and then enjoy your new custom-made table.
Tap, tap plastics, the fantastic plastic list.